You are a junior envoy for the human race. It is a comfortable and respectable position. The galaxy calls your people the children of the stars. You are newcomers, curious and fragile. Everyone agrees you must be protected. The elder races guide your first steps. They offer you technology and wisdom freely. They shelter you from the galaxy's harsher realities. Your life is a series of gentle diplomatic missions. You attend cultural exchanges on peaceful worlds. You observe the grand galactic traditions. You are a student in a vast, ancient schoolhouse. Your starship, the Starglider, is a gift. It was designed by the elegant, winged Cygnans. Its systems are simple and safe. They are meant for travel, not for conflict. Today, you journey to the Cathar system. The Cathar are a proud, warrior race. They are known for their rigid honor codes. They requested this meeting to discuss trade routes. Your captain, a calm and steady woman, trusts them. She says their honor is their bond. She believes this is another routine mission, another chance for humanity to learn and grow. You stand on the bridge, watching the star-dusted void. The Cathar homeworld hangs in the view screen. It is a world of red sands and jagged mountains. It looks harsh and unforgiving, so unlike the gentle garden worlds you know. Your ship is a tiny silver seed in the darkness. You feel a familiar sense of smallness. It is the feeling of a child in a room of giants. This feeling has always been your reality. The ship glides into high orbit. A signal comes from the surface. It is the Cathar welcoming committee. Their voices are deep and guttural. The universal translator smooths the sounds into calm words. They give you landing coordinates. They say they await your arrival with great honor. Everything seems normal. Everything feels safe. The bridge crew is relaxed. Some even share a quiet joke. The captain gives the order to begin atmospheric entry. The Starglider tilts its nose downward. It prepares to descend into the red haze. You feel the familiar, slight shudder of the inertial dampeners. They engage to soften the ride. You look at the crimson planet below. It seems to swell in the viewport. You think about the report you will write. You will describe the Cathar rituals. You will detail their austere architecture. Then, a sudden, violent jolt throws you forward. It is not the tremble of atmospheric entry. It is the gut punch of a weapon strike. Red lights flash across the bridge. A piercing alarm screams through the ship. The calm atmosphere shatters instantly. Another hit, harder this time, rocks the deck. Sparks fly from a nearby console. The lights flicker and die, replaced by emergency reds. The captain grabs her command chair to stay upright. Her face is a mask of disbelief. "Shield status," she yells. The tactical officer shouts back, his voice tight with panic. "Shields are gone, Captain. They were never meant for this." He is right. The shields were for micrometeoroids, not for plasma cannons. They were paper against a raging fire. The view screen shows Cathar warships. They decloak from the shadows of space. They are brutal, angular things. They look like sharpened stones. They surround your small, unarmed vessel. It was not a welcome. It was an ambush. A perfect, devastating trap. The Cathar honor was a lie. A tool to lure you into their killing box. The Starglider is crying out in pain. The ship's computer speaks in a monotone voice of doom. Hull breaches on decks 4, 7, and 9. Main power failing. Life support critical. Your ship is crippled. It is falling out of orbit. You are being pulled toward the red world below. Not for a gentle landing, but for a final, fiery crash. The crew scrambles in the crimson gloom. They try to follow their training. But their training was for malfunctions, not for war. They are diplomats and scientists. They are not soldiers. Panic begins to set in. Their movements become frantic and useless. The ship continues its death spiral. The Cathar ships watch, like wolves circling a wounded lamb. They are in no hurry to finish you. They want to savor their victory. You are thrown against a bulkhead. Your head rings from the impact. The alarm is a constant, maddening shriek. Through the chaos, you feel a deep, cold dread. This is how it ends. Humanity's hopeful journey ends here, a forgotten footnote in a history of violence. The protected child, learning its final, cruel lesson. The galaxy is not a school. It is a hunting ground. The ship groans around you. It is the sound of metal tearing apart. The artificial gravity sputters, then fails completely. You float weightlessly in the red-lit chaos. Loose objects drift past you. A datapad. A broken mug. A picture of a smiling family from a crewmate station. The ship is dying, and you are dying with it. Then something new cuts through the noise. It is not a sound. It is a feeling. A strange, powerful pulse washes over you. It seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. It is sharp and clean, like a key turning in a lock deep inside your mind. The blaring alarms seem to fade. The panicked shouts grow distant. The falling sensation stops. There is only the pulse. It is not a Cathar weapon. It is not a ship system failing. It feels ancient and deeply familiar. It is a signal, but not one you have ever known. It resonates in your bones, in your very blood. For a breathtaking second, the universe holds its breath. The lock inside you turns, and a door you never knew existed swings wide open. You are no longer just you. The junior envoy is gone. In his place, a million voices cry out. They are not alien. They are human. They are memories that are not yours. You are standing in a dark cave. The walls are slick with moisture. You hold a sharpened flint spear. A fire sputters nearby, casting long shadows. You are hunting a great cave bear. You feel the cold fear. You feel the raw hunger. The scene dissolves. You are standing on a dusty plain. A bronze shield is strapped to your arm. The sun is hot on your neck. 1,000 men stand beside you, their spears held high. An army of chariots thunders toward you. You taste the grit in your mouth. You feel the iron resolve of a hoplite. You will hold the line, or you will die. You are a soldier at Thermopylae. The memory flashes away. You are at the helm of a wooden ship. The sea is a raging monster. Icy waves crash over the bow. The wind howls like a demon. Your hands are raw on the tiller. You fight to keep the ship from capsizing. You are an ancient mariner, a Viking charting unknown waters. You feel the bite of the salt spray. You feel the unyielding will to survive. A flood of echoes overwhelms you. A legionary marching under a foreign sun. A knight in heavy armor, his sword drawn. A samurai facing his sworn enemy in a silent duel. A trench soldier, mud caked on his boots. A pilot pulling his fighter jet out of a steep dive. A million lives, a million struggles, a million deaths, and a million triumphs. These are not just memories. They are experiences. They are skills. They are instincts, honed over 100,000 years of conflict. You remember building pyramids under a desert sky. You remember forging the first iron sword. You remember the terror of the Black Death. You remember the hope of a new world across a vast ocean. Every war, every discovery, every disaster, every moment of desperation and every spark of genius. It all comes rushing into your mind, a torrent of human history, raw and unfiltered. It is a legacy written in blood, sweat, and tears. This is the hidden inheritance of your species, a racial memory locked away in your genes. It was dormant, sleeping through generations of peace. The elder races saw you as children. They never knew what you were. They never knew what you had been. The Cathar ambush, the imminent threat of extinction, was the key. It was the danger that unlocked the cage. The sleeping giant inside humanity was finally awake. The million voices settle. They do not fade. They become a part of you. Your eyes open. The red emergency light of the bridge is the same. The ship is still falling. But you are not the same. You are no longer the frightened junior envoy. You are the sum of all your ancestors. You are a hunter, a warrior, a survivor, and you are no longer afraid. Your body moves before you consciously think. Your hands are a blur across the engineering console. Your fingers dance over controls you were never trained to use. You are not thinking. You are remembering. You remember patching a leaking aqueduct in ancient Rome. The principles of fluid dynamics are etched into your soul. You reroute the remaining coolant. You bypass the ruptured lines. You stabilize the overheating reactor. The ship's death rattle softens to a steady hum. You have bought yourself precious time. The captain watches you, her mouth agape. She does not understand what she's seeing. Your hands fly to the power distribution grid. You recall the work of an early electrical engineer. He struggled to light a city with primitive generators. You feel his frustration and his ultimate triumph. You divert auxiliary power from non-essential systems. You channel every last watt to the inertial dampeners. The ship's fall slows. The violent shuddering eases into a manageable vibration. You are no longer plummeting. You are now in a controlled descent. A memory surfaces. The Viking at his tiller in the storm. The sea was his enemy. The ship was his only hope. He did not fight the storm. He used its power. He angled his ship to ride the waves, not break against them. You look at the Cathar homeworld on the view screen. Its thick atmosphere is a raging storm of gas and heat. You can use it. You can ride it. You take control of the maneuvering thrusters. Your touch is deft and certain. You angle the crippled star glider into the upper atmosphere, not fighting the drag, but using it to bleed off speed. You are surfing the edge of the planet's gravity well. The ship groans in protest. The hull heats to a dull cherry red. But it holds. It holds because you know its limits. You know them like a blacksmith knows his steel. The Cathar warships follow you down. They assume you are making a last, desperate move. They do not understand the genius behind your fall. They see a dying ship. They do not see the mind of 1,000 engineers. They do not see the will of 1,000,000 survivors. They close in for the kill. Their communication channels are open. They are laughing. They are celebrating their easy victory. The ship's internal speakers crackle. Warning. Proximity alert. Enemy vessel boarding. A harsh grinding sound echoes through the hull. A boarding torpedo has breached the lower deck. The Cathar are coming aboard. They expect to find a terrified crew. They expect to find easy prey. They are about to be very, very wrong. You turn from the console. A cold calm has settled over you. The fear is gone. Now, only instinct remains. The Cathar warriors move through the breach. They are large, insectoid creatures. Their bodies are covered in thick, natural armor. They carry pulse rifles, holding them with casual confidence. Their senses are sharp. They can taste the fear in the air. The ship is dark and silent, lit only by the red emergency strips. They move in tactical formation down the corridor. They are predators entering a den. The first Cathar rounds a corner. He expects to see a cowering human. He finds nothing. The corridor is empty. He signals his squad to advance. The silence is unnerving. This is not the panicked resistance they expected. It feels wrong. It feels like a trap. But that is impossible. These are humans. Children. Diplomats. They do not know how to fight. One of the Cathar steps over a loose power conduit. It is a simple thing, an accident in the chaos. But it is not an accident. You put it there. You remember a hunter's snare. A simple rope and a bent sapling. The principle is the same. The Cathar's weight pulls the conduit taut. It completes a circuit you rerouted. A heavy blast door, designed to contain fires, slams down. It separates the Cathar squad in two. Panic flares in the Cathar leader's mind. This was not random. This was intentional. He shouts orders into his communicator. Before his soldiers can react, the lights in their section go out completely. Not just the emergency reds, all of it. Total blackness. You remember fighting in the dark tunnels of a besieged castle. You know the terror of blindness. You know how to use it. From the darkness comes a sound, a low, rhythmic hum. It is a maintenance tool, a plasma cutter. But in your hands, it is a weapon. You remember a gladiator in a darkened arena. He used sound and shadow to confuse his opponent. You ignite the cutter for a brief second. The brilliant flash illuminates your shape for a heartbeat. Then darkness again. You are not where you just were. You are already moving. The Cathar fire their rifles wildly into the dark. Plasma bolts sear the walls, leaving glowing scars. They are shooting at ghosts. A memory rises. A silent assassin from feudal Japan. He moved like a whisper in the night. You move with his grace. You are a shadow among shadows. You are behind them now. One of the Cathar senses something. He starts to turn. It is too late. You strike with the focused power of the plasma cutter. It is quick. It is silent. It is brutally effective. One warrior down. The others sense it. Their fear now has a scent. It is a rich, intoxicating perfume. They cluster together, back to back. They sweep their rifle barrels across the darkness. They are terrified. Their disciplined formation is a huddled mass of fear. You remember a wolf pack hunting. Separate the prey, isolate it, make it weak. You throw a heavy wrench down the corridor. It clatters loudly in the opposite direction. They instinctively turn and fire at the sound. It is the only opening you need. You strike again. Another Cathar falls. Then another. You are not a junior envoy. You are a force of nature. You are the primal hunter. You are the seasoned warrior. The memories guide your every move. The remaining Cathar break. They scramble back toward their boarding craft. They are no longer hunters. They are the prey. They flee from the darkness and the monster it holds. This ship is no longer a prize. It is a tomb. Across the settled worlds of human space, the change is happening. On a farm world named New Eden, a man named Jakob is plowing his field. The soil is rich and black. His life is simple and peaceful. He has never held a weapon. He has never known a day of war. The strange, silent pulse washes over him. He stumbles, falling to his knees. The memories come, not of warriors, but of farmers and builders. He remembers a desperate farmer in ancient Egypt. The Nile did not flood 1 year. Starvation loomed. The farmer dug new irrigation channels by hand. He saved his village. Jakob looks at his own modern irrigation system. He sees its flaws. He sees its vulnerabilities. He stands up, his eyes filled with a new understanding. He walks to his barn. He begins to modify the system. He is no longer just a farmer. He is an engineer of survival. His neighbors are changing too. A school teacher suddenly understands advanced military strategy. She remembers the campaigns of Alexander the Great. She begins organizing the town's militia. A baker remembers the logistics of feeding a Roman legion. He starts rationing the community's food supplies. He creates a system to feed everyone for months, not weeks. A quiet librarian accesses the memories of ancient code breakers. He looks at the colony's communication network. He begins to encrypt it, making it unbreakable. New Eden was a peaceful, undefended colony, a soft target for any pirate or slaver. Within hours, it becomes a fortress. Jakob's farm is now a defensive strongpoint. The irrigation channels are now anti-vehicle traps. The grain silos are now fortified watchtowers. The people move with a shared purpose. They work without needing orders. They are guided by a collective, ancestral wisdom. They are preparing for a war they all suddenly know is coming. The Cathar ship in orbit above New Eden sees the change. They were preparing to send down landing parties. They were going to take the colony with ease. Now, their sensors show something impossible. The colony is fortifying itself at an incredible speed. Simple farming equipment is being turned into makeshift weapons. Defensive perimeters are being established with geometric precision. It is the work of master tacticians. It is not the work of simple farmers. The Cathar commander is confused. His report said this world was primitive and peaceful. Aboard the crippled star glider, the surviving Cathar boarders send their report. Their voices are shrill with terror. They speak of a demon in the dark, a human who moved like no living thing they had ever seen. They describe the traps, the psychological warfare, the brutal efficiency. Their report is broadcast on an open channel. It is a desperate plea for help. They are not conquerors. They are victims. The Cathar Fleet Command listens to the transmission. They hear the raw fear in their soldiers' voices. Then they listen to the reports from New Eden. They see the sensor readings. They connect the two events. The human transformation is not an isolated incident. It is happening everywhere. Something has fundamentally changed about the human race. The children of the stars have grown up. And they have grown up monstrous. The panicked Cathar broadcasts spread across the galactic networks. Other races listen. The Signans, the builders of your ship, are horrified. They see their gentle protégés turning into something unrecognizable. The ponderous, silicon-based Olamites watch the data streams with cold, analytical dread. The playful, telepathic Lumini recoil from the sudden, savage thoughts echoing from human minds. The galaxy is watching. They see a simple cargo hauler near a pirate outpost. The pirates board it, expecting an easy prize. The human crew, suddenly imbued with the memories of ancient naval warfare, turns the tables. They use their cargo containers as battering rams. They vent plasma from their engines as a weapon. The pirate ship is disabled. The human crew then boards the pirate vessel. They take it apart with ruthless skill. A human science outpost on a gas giant is attacked. The scientists, now remembering forgotten siege engineers, weaponize their research equipment. They create a focused gravity well that crushes the attacker's ship. It is an application of physics so brutal and direct that no one had ever considered it. Until now. The stories pour in from every corner of the galaxy where humans are present. The narrative is always the same. Helpless prey becomes the ultimate predator. The Galactic Council is convened in an emergency session. The council chamber is a vast, crystalline space. The leaders of the major galactic powers are present. Their holographic forms shimmer around a central table. The mood is grim. They are watching a live feed from your ship, the Star Glider. They see the Cathar fleet in disarray. They see your crippled vessel not just surviving, but fighting back with impossible tactics. On the view screen, they watch you, the junior envoy. You are now directing the remaining crew with absolute authority. You are a natural commander. You speak with the calm confidence of a veteran leader. You are coordinating damage control, weapon deployment, and tactical maneuvers all at once. The council members are silent. They are afraid. They access the historical archives on humanity. The public version is short. It speaks of a peaceful, rapid development, a species that skipped its violent adolescence. But now they dig deeper. They use their powerful systems to analyze the newly unlocked human genetic memory. They see the truth. They see the Crusades. They see the Mongol hordes. They see the world wars. They see a history of relentless, brutal conflict, a history of unimaginable cruelty and unbreakable resilience. They see a species that clawed its way to the top of its world's food chain, a species that perfected warfare into an art form. They had seen humanity as a blank slate, a child to be nurtured. They were wrong. Humanity was not a blank slate. It was a slate that had been wiped clean, and now the blood-red writing was reappearing. An elder, one, a being of pure energy, whose race had watched the stars for 1 billion years, speaks. Its voice is like the grinding of galaxies. We have misjudged them. We saw a child. We missed the predator hiding behind its eyes. Fear turns to terror. The council realizes they did not adopt a child. They unleashed a monster. You have cleared the ship of the Cathar borders. Now, you turn your attention to the fleet outside. The Starglider is barely holding together. Its weapons are few and weak. By any logical measure, you are doomed. But you are not using their logic. You are using a much older, much deadlier kind. A memory surfaces. A Carthaginian general facing a larger Roman fleet. He used smaller, faster ships to ram and board the enemy. He did not fight their way. He made them fight his. You have no ram. But you have maneuvering thrusters, and you have the planet's atmosphere. You target the nearest Cathar cruiser. You fire your small laser cannons. They do little more than scratch the enemy's shields. As you expected. The Cathar commander, arrogant and angry, turns his ship to blast you into atoms. It is a fatal mistake. You use your thrusters to pull your ship down, deeper into the atmosphere. The Cathar cruiser follows, eager for the kill. The atmosphere is thicker here. It creates immense drag on the larger Cathar ship. Its design is for space, not for air. It begins to struggle. Its movements become sluggish. You, however, are riding the currents. The memory of the Viking mariner is strong within you. You use the atmosphere like he used the sea. You dance around the clumsy warship. You are a hornet attacking a lumbering bear. You fire your lasers at a specific point on the Cathar ship. A small, unarmored heat radiator. A memory of a Renaissance fencer guides your aim. He knew that even the strongest armor has its weak points. The laser slices through the radiator. Coolant vents into the hot atmosphere. The Cathar cruiser's reactor temperature begins to climb. The commander has a choice. Pull out of the atmosphere to cool his ship or risk a reactor meltdown. He chooses to pull out. He has been defeated not by force, but by finesse. You repeat the tactic. You draw another Cathar ship into the atmospheric trap. And another. The Cathar fleet, once a coordinated unit, is now in chaos. Some ships are trapped in the atmosphere, overheating. Others are afraid to follow you down. They fire from a distance, but their shots are inaccurate. The atmospheric distortion protects you. Your crippled ship has become an unbreakable fortress. Your genius is primal. It is the genius of the survivor, the genius of the desperate hunter. One of the Cathar ships, its reactor critical, explodes. The shock wave rocks your vessel, but it also damages a nearby Cathar ship. A chain reaction begins. The Cathar fleet, caught between your impossible tactics and their own exploding ships, breaks. They turn and flee. They flee from a crippled, unarmed diplomatic vessel. They flee from a junior envoy who became a military legend in the span of an hour. The siege is broken. You stand on the bridge of the battered starglider. The red emergency lights still flicker. The ship is a wreck, but it is your wreck. It is your victory. The remaining crew looks at you with a mixture of awe and fear. You are their savior, but you are also a stranger. You walk to the communications console. The channel to the Galactic Council is still open. They have been watching the entire battle. They have seen what you can do. You activate the transmitter. Your voice is steady and clear. It resonates with the authority of 1,000 generations of leaders. This is Envoy. You begin. Then pause. The title feels wrong. It is a relic of a past that no longer exists. This is humanity, you say instead. Your voice carries across the stars. It is heard in the council chamber. It is heard on the fleeing Cathar warships. It is heard on every human colony, where 1 billion minds like yours are awakening. We are grateful for your protection. You continue, your tone devoid of warmth. We were a child learning to walk. You taught us much, but you kept one thing from us. You kept us from ourselves. The council members watch, their holographic forms frozen. They have no response. What can they say? They have been caught in a lie of galactic proportions. Today, we were reminded of who we are, you say. The Cathar were the lesson. The threat of our extinction was the classroom. We have learned. We remember now. We remember the cold of the caves. We remember the heat of the forge. We remember the sting of the sword and the roar of the cannon. We are the children of Earth, a world of predators. You lean closer to the microphone. Your voice drops, becoming a low, dangerous promise. We are not your children anymore. We are not your science project. We are not your protected species. From this day forward, we will chart our own course. We will make our own alliances. And we will defend ourselves. Let the galaxy know this. The age of human innocence is over. The age of human strength has begun. You cut the transmission. The silence on the bridge is absolute. You have just redrawn the map of the galaxy. The Elder Ones, ancient beyond comprehension, convene in a place outside of normal space-time. They are the galaxy's silent guardians. They rarely interfere. But this event is unprecedented. Humanity's awakening has sent shockwaves through the fabric of reality. They have watched species rise and fall for eons. They have never seen anything like this. A species that could forget its own nature and then remember it with such explosive force. One of them projects a thought, a concept that feels like cold, hard numbers. Their potential for violence is unmatched. They have perfected destruction on a planetary scale countless times. They are a threat. Another projects a different thought, one that feels like a complex, beautiful song. But their potential for creation is also unmatched. They compose symphonies. They write poetry. They dream of reaching the stars, even when trapped on their world. They are not just monsters. A third Elder, One, projects a feeling of deep, sorrowful contemplation. We guided their protectors, the Signans. We advised them to keep humanity peaceful, to hide their past from them. We feared this day. We feared what they would become if they remembered. They review the data stream from your mind. They see the million echoes. They see the warrior, the farmer, the poet, the killer, the saint. They see the core conflict, the choice that now faces every human. The memories offer immense power, the power to build fortresses, to win wars, to conquer stars. But they also offer immense darkness, the rage of the berserker, the cruelty of the inquisitor, the cold calculus of the general who sacrifices millions. Humanity holds both creation and destruction in its hands. It is a miracle, and it is a time bomb. The judgment of the elder. One's is broadcast not in words, but as a wave of pure understanding. It washes over the galactic council. It touches every sentient mind in the galaxy. Humanity is no longer a child to be protected, nor are they a monster to be caged. They are a new factor, a variable in an equation we thought we had solved. Their path is now their own. We will watch. We will not interfere. The galaxy must now adapt to them. The judgment is final. The responsibility is now yours. The echoes of your ancestors swirl within you. A Roman legionary offers you discipline and order. A Mongol warrior offers you ruthless ambition. A Renaissance artist offers you the beauty of creation. A scientist from the age of discovery offers you boundless curiosity. They are all a part of you. They are all tools. They are all weapons. They are all paths you can choose to walk. You look at the crew of the Star Glider. They are looking to you for guidance. They are frightened, but they are also filled with a new, fierce pride. They are human. They are the heirs to a legacy they never knew they had. You see the same choice in their eyes. Will they be builders or destroyers? Will they be healers or conquerors? You think of the farmer on New Eden, turning his plowshare into a defensive wall. He did not seek conquest. He sought survival. He used the memory of the warrior to protect the memory of the farmer. That is the key. Balance, control, choosing to wield the sword only so that the plow can remain safe. Choosing the path of the guardian, not the path of the tyrant. You must be the first to make that choice. You must set the example for your entire species. Set a course for home, you say to the navigator. Your voice is calm, but it holds a new weight. But keep the weapon systems online. We are going home, but we are going home prepared. It is a simple order, but it defines the new path for humanity. A path of peace, protected by a newfound and terrible strength. A path of cautious hope. You are no longer a child of the stars. You are an heir. You are the inheritor of 100,000 years of struggle and survival. The galaxy looks at you with fear and with wonder. They do not know what you will do next. In truth, you do not know either. You only know that you are no longer small. You are no longer fragile. You are your ancestors' wildest dream, and you are their most terrifying nightmare. You are human, and you remember everything.